So the YouTube channel As Is just put out their own version of nuclei overload training, right? 100 reps a day for 30 days of squats. I actually thought that was pretty cool because I plan on doing that for my next test.
No, you're not. You haven't squatted at all.
I squat more than you.
That's all like,
Hey.
liar.
Next time you guys see Ricky, he's going to be without his man bun, okay? I'm cutting that off when he least expects it. But anyways, so I do plan on doing, and I do squat, okay? I do plan on doing this for my next test. It's going to suck. But I'm doing mine with a barbell with about 185 pounds. I'm going to do 10 sets of 10 repetitions, a very fixed amount, just like you guys saw on the other test. But for this video, it involved three girls, and each girl kind of came from a different background, all right? So you have one girl who's never trained before, one girl who used to play a lot of volleyball, I guess back in high school, but doesn't do any more training now, and then another girl who used to train, still trains, and is training like 3 or 4 days a week. So I thought it was a really good variation because the people watching the video are going to come from basically any one of those 3 positions, right? Someone who's never trained, used to train, or still training, but wants to challenge themselves. And when doing a bodyweight squat, I mean, you can make it challenging. They're just told to do 100 reps a day for 30 days. They're not being told to do 10 sets of 10 repetitions. So if you're stronger and you want to try to do 2 sets of 50, then you can do that. If you've never trained before and you have to do 10 sets of 10, then that's what you got to do, okay? So you can vary that and boost your own intensity with just how you manage your sets and reps. And so I actually enjoyed the video, okay? I watched the whole 12 minutes. I really enjoyed it. I thought there was a lot of positivity in there, especially from Jasmine. I actually enjoyed her story the most. She was the one who played volleyball as a kid, and she obviously, gained a little bit of weight since high school, so she had a bit more to lose. And she even talked about how she wasn't even really worried about losing weight and changing the shape of her body. She was actually more focused on reconnecting with her body, which to me is like the mind-muscle connection. The words she was saying, it felt like she was out of touch, with herself, and she wanted to work out to kind of bring that back. And I thought that was really great and inspiring. It inspired me. It did, And then, Vivian was the girl who had already been training and is training now. She did really good with the competition. She really pushed herself. She did her 100 reps a day. There were a few days where she didn't do the workout that she admitted to, which can happen, but missing 1 or 2 days isn't going to be that big of a difference. And then Lindsay unfortunately quit halfway through. And what I did not like about the video, I'm going to come at this from a coaching perspective because you guys know me, I coach, I have a lot of clients that I work with, and the squat is something that I have to teach all the time, especially when I get a new client who either has bad form or has never done it before. And I think Coach Steve really dropped the ball, at least with the footage they're showing in the video. I can only base this on what I saw in the video. Coach Steve is showing how to do a squat, and he does it by throwing a stick on the ground and telling you to sit down on a bench and then making sure your feet are straight and then go up and down, which I guess makes sense. It's not wrong, right? But as you watch the videos of each of the girls squatting, Jasmine, I think, had like some of the best form. Her chest was up. She was squatting to depth. She was using a seat to make sure her butt was touching it. I thought that was great. Vivian had pretty good form. She was leaned over maybe a little too much for how I would like to see it, but she was still going, past parallel on her squats. And then you had poor Lindsay, who it just looked like she was not taught how to squat correctly. It looked like she was pushing off of her toes a lot. She was folding in half basically as she was going down, so she wasn't even really bringing her hips past parallel. And Lindsay ends up quitting because she's under the impression that this is going to work on her butt. Like the first thing that comes out of her mouth, and it breaks my heart watching the video, the first thing she says is she's like, I want to work on my butt. I want to fix this area. It's going to be really good for me. It's going to boost my self-esteem, which we find out later she was having like some personal issues, and she thought that this challenge was going to actually help her. And then in the end, it actually made it worse because she thought she was going to come into this and work on her butt, and no one told her that squats don't really work your butt as much as people think, right?
I've just been going through a lot of mental health issues, and I feel like not doing the squats well has not been helping. I actually did it because I thought it would help and have something I can focus on, but it honestly made it worse. I just need to focus on me more and not necessarily my butt.
And I read some of the comments in the comment section, and people were like, well, you're supposed to flex your glutes at the top of the movement. It's like you can flex your glutes as hard as you want to, okay? But a squat is never gonna build your glutes as good in comparison with exercises that actually work, like a glute bridge. You know, like if Lindsay wanted to do the challenge and she's like, I want to work my butt, it's like, listen, you're gonna probably see a lot more improvement in your thigh area, but if you want to work that butt, then we should do maybe a different challenge later on. And when they were halfway through the competition, she tells Coach Steve, like, hey, I'm noticing that I'm quad dominant. And he's like, oh, well, you know, for you, you should just widen your feet and squat. That's gonna target your glutes more. Yeah, it does. Still not as much as a glute bridge. It ain't gonna fix the problem. And so she ends up quitting, which I thought was really sad. And Lindsay, if you watch this video, I'd be more than happy to help you get, you know, your glutes where you want them. Reach out to me. You can shoot me a DM on my Instagram, Scott Herman Fitness, free of charge. Hit me up. I want to put you on the right path because I saw some real pain in your eyes, and I felt bad because I've seen it time and time again when people aren't coached correctly, and I didn't like that part of the video. But aside from that, the other girls continued to put in the hard work, and when it got time for them to increase the intensity, so I think it was like day 10, instead of doing 100 squats in a row, they added 5 jump squats at the end, and then about halfway through the challenge, they had to do 10 jump squats at the end. And they took on the challenge, and Jasmine was remembering like, hey, when I used to play volleyball, I used to have to get down real low and then jump up to hit the ball when you're by the volleyball net. And so she was actually mimicking that movement in her home in front of her door. And I was like, man, this girl's really inspiring. Like, she is kicking ass. She wants to take it to the next level. And overall, like I said, the video was great, but the only other misleading thing I thought about the video was on the thumbnail. And obviously, videos need to have clickbait, okay? They have to have clickbait. I understand that. I have to make my thumbnails a bit more clickbaity too, so people click on them. It's just the way YouTube is now, okay? You can't, it's not like 10 years ago when a video was about biceps and you could put like video about biceps. People are like, oh, I want to watch a video about biceps. Now it has to be like 3 secret bicep techniques that you've never heard of that are only known to me and nobody else, and it makes your peak grow 3 inches. Oh, okay, let me click on that. Bad example, but you understand the point I'm trying to make. On the thumbnail, they try to make it seem like Vivian's butt had this like drastic change, you know? And even when they showed Lindsay's before and after photos, you see a bit of changes. She did tighten up like maybe a tiny bit, but the camera angle in the before photo is top facing down, and then the after photo is bottom facing up. And so these are techniques that are used to make your butt look bigger or worse depending on which photo you plan on taking that day. Granted, I think their photos were taken in the beginning and at the end, but on Instagram and, you know, in advertisements, a lot of times, guys, those before and after photos, sorry to say this, they're taken on the same day. But overall, I think it was great. I think it's a great challenge. If you wanted to do the 100 squats a day for 30 days, just understand, yeah, you're definitely gonna tighten up your butt a tiny bit, but most of that is gonna be felt in your legs, which is the whole reason why I wanna do that for my next challenge. I wanna get my quads looking a bit meatier and a bit thicker and with a bit more volume like they used to before I moved down to Florida, because I was squatting a lot more often. And granted, I've been squatting, regardless of what Ricky says, yeah, your quads are bigger. We know why your quads are bigger. We're not gonna get into that into this video, but if you guys wanna comment below, we can talk about that in another video. But, you know, regardless, I wanna bring some volume back to my quads, so that's why I'm gonna be doing the challenge next. So for those of you who wanna take on the next nuclear overload challenge, I'll post a link below to the forum post like I did last time, where I'm gonna talk about it and bring you guys in on exactly how to do it. So I think overall the video was great, had great messaging, but it did have some things that I didn't agree with, just coming from the coaching, you know, perspective side of things, and I think you guys might agree with me. And if you do, if you don't, I want to know. So comment below. And if you enjoy the video, like the damn video. And for more great tips and other videos you guys can binge on to learn more about fitness and how to correct your form, you can check out this video link right here. And if you want an absolutely free program that you can download right now and take it to your gym, and pretend you're doing it. If your gym's not open, you can just go there and kind of mentally visualize it, which I hope not. I know a lot of gyms are open by now. Anyways, Guaranteed Gains program right here. You guys can check that out. Hope you all have a great day, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.